C1Music.FM, The Familiar. It is your host for the evening, Aaron Robinson. You know how we do all day, every day. And we are in the building virtually. And we record every Monday night. So if you want to call in, you can call 908-316-8630. If you want to join by website, you can join meetings.dialpad.com/C1 Productions. And all of our episodes post every Thursday around 7 p.m. So last episode will be posting this week on Thursday, 7 p.m. So definitely follow, listen, join in, chat, type a message, let us know what you think about the episode, and let's have some fun. So tonight our topic is titled Bloodline. But before I start into that, how's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Good.
Great.
Are y'all ready to be entertained tonight?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Good, because this should be an entertaining conversation. So, as everybody know, my title is Bloodline. So I want to start with this. The definition of a bloodline is a set of ancestors or a line of descent of a person. Okay, so descent is very important. The definition of descent is a derivation from an ancestor or birth or lineage. And descent refers to the socially recognized links between ancestors and descendants, or one's traceable ancestry, and can be bilateral or traced through either parents, or unilateral and traced through parents and ancestors of only one sex. So the former occurs in the United States because both paternal and maternal ancestors are considered parts of one family. The latter, unilateral descent, is practiced in 40% of the world's societies. There are three types of unilateral descent. You have patrilineal, which follows the father's line only. You have matrilineal, which follows the mother's side only. And you have ambilineal, which follows either the father's or the mother's side only, depending on the situation. With that being said, the first question is, I just want to put this out there for everybody. Is it possible for distant relatives to be related to both sides of their family? For example, if your mom's 8th cousin is your dad's 6th cousin, that person could appear in both sides of the group. So, do y'all feel like that's a true statement?
I do.
Yeah.
All right, cool. The match could also be, related to your parents through two different ancestors. So the statement, descended of both sides, means that the person is from the mother and father side of their bloodlines. Do y'all get that?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so there was a guy in the Bible named Terah, and he is a biblical figure in the book of Genesis. He's listed as the son of Nahor and father of the patriarch Abraham. As such, he is a descendant of Noah's son Shem. And what's interesting, though, is that the Bible patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the sons of Jacob, were all descendants from both sides of Terah's family, including Lot. So they were descendants on his mother and father's side. Even Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, who were these guys' wives and mothers, also descended from Terah's bloodline on both sides of the family. Do y'all find that strange?
Definitely not in the Bible page.
Strange, but no.
Okay. So my Bible story and topic will focus tonight on Genesis 19, verse 30 through 36 from the New Century Version. And I'm going to read it for y'all. It states, verse 30 starts off like this. And y'all can just follow along. You don't have to find it in your Bible. You can just listen and follow me from that. It says, verse 30 says, Lot was afraid to continue living in Zoar. So he and his 2 daughters went to live in the mountains in the cave. Verse 31, one day the older daughter said to the younger, Our father is old. Everywhere on earth, women and men marry. but there are no men around here for us to marry. Verse 32. Let's get our father drunk and have sexual relations with him. We can use him to have children and continue our family. Verse 33. That night, the two girls got their father drunk, and the older daughter went and had sexual relations with him. But Lot did not know when she laid down or when she got up. The next day, the older daughter said to the younger, last night I had sexual relations with my father. Let's get him drunk again tonight so you can go have sexual relations with him too. In this way, we can use our father to have children to continue our family. Verse 35. So that night they got their father drunk again, and the younger daughter went and had sexual relations with him. Again, Lot did not know when she laid down or when she got up. So, both Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. The older daughter gave birth to a son named him Moab, who is the leader of the Moabites, if y'all didn't know that. And he is the ancestor of the Moabites, like I said, and those people are still living today. Verse 38, the younger daughter also gave birth to a son named Ben-Ami. He is the father of the Ammonites. Y'all heard of them in the Bible as well, and those people are still living today. So here's the thing. So in the eyes of Lot's daughters, right? Because we all, nowadays, we find what they did very weird and strange, right? So in the eyes of Lot's daughters, if they were to have children and based off their lineage, based off of no brothers or male cousins around, they felt that it was important to them to have their children from their own lineage as well. That's how important having children from their own lineage was. And because of their father, they moved away into a cave. So he stripped them from that opportunity of being able to birth family members that will be able to from their own lineage, like cousins or whatever the case may be, stripped them from that opportunity. So to have their children be descendants through both their mother and father from Terah, they concluded to sleeping with their father. By doing so, by sleeping with their father, this solves their problem by having Lot be the father of his grandchildren. So my question, because that was so important to them, the lineage, the bloodline, all their family members came from the same bloodline. That was so important to them. The question at hand that I have for y'all, first and foremost, do y'all agree with their reasoning for doing what they did? Do I have to play my crickets?
Yeah, play those crickets because it's gonna take a moment.
That just sounds so gross. What chapter is that again? Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Where's that song coming? It's so gross.
I think they were traumatized. They had to be traumatized because remember, all those men were trying to get at the angels, and Lot actually offered his daughters up to them. Like he was like, "Take my virgin daughters." Like I think that they've been through too much. I think they just lost their minds. I don't know. I think what they did was,
hold on.
I just couldn't. Oh no, it's like I was trying to eat a plate of food right now, and I can't.
Yo, that's found in Genesis chapter 19, verse 30 through 36.
That's what we call incest.
That is what we call incest.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm asking again, so do you agree with that was so important to them to have their children be from the same bloodline? To the point where their father made them move and there were no males around. So in order for them to continue, their bloodline, they did what they did. So my question again is, do y'all agree or disagree with their decision?
Yeah, I disagree, especially with the method. With the method,
I disagree.
Okay.
Didn't they wait a couple more weeks?
All right, well, here's my second question, because secondly, if they would have come to their father and let him know the importance of having his lineage extend through them, and if he was not drunk, do you think he would have freely did the act anyway, since it was extremely important to his daughters?
No.
Because it must not have been important to him because he moved away.
Exactly. He moved away, so it wasn't important to him.
Wait, I got the wrong Bible verse. Hold on. What?
I said the question was again, the father, if they would have came to the father and said to him and explained the importance of why having children of their own lineage was important to them, and if they would have asked them instead of getting them drunk and doing it on their own, do you think their father would have agreed to the terms?
No, he might would have suggested we go back to where we were from. Yeah. Because I'm sure you have plenty of cousins. Go get one of your cousins if it's that important, but definitely not him.
So what do you think his reaction was when he woke up and his daughters were pregnant and they broke the news to him?
He probably screamed. How was it for you?
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, he had to, do you think he even would have cursed them or something? Because back in the day, even Noah, I mean, he cursed his family members when this stuff like this happened.
I don't know that he necessarily wanted to curse them, but I know he'd be upset.
Totally upset.
I think it depends on how important that bloodline was to him.
Yeah,
I can't say he maybe he was upset, but maybe he wouldn't have been.
But why would he have stayed where they could have had?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he just didn't think it through.
Why would he move? Why would he move away from all the family?
Maybe he had other reasons for moving away. Maybe he didn't think about lineage at that time.
He wasn't thinking.
Wasn't it? But to me, he never was thinking, because for him to give up, to offer his daughters, to anybody,
right.
So to me, he was already. I don't know if he would have minded or not, because he was already to me not thinking or messed up in his head.
Yeah, he wasn't in his right mind, probably.
And I know it's in the Bible, but do you think he was so drunk he didn't know all that was going on?
That's what
That's what the Bible says.
That was a potent brother. He didn't know what was going on, and I don't know.
Is it possible?
They just went through everything.
That's that situation.
Did he not just lose his wife? She was like, apparently so.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, can somebody get that drunk that they don't understand? You know what I mean?
Yes, you can. Yeah. I mean, I don't get drunk, but I'm just saying, yes, you can.
But that is so you can you can function, but you don't not be aware. Because I thought drinking has the opposite effect.
No, it doesn't make your whole body just limp. Is that what you're saying? No.
But I mean, thought it affects your sex drive, though. At least for males.
Apparently not. I mean, obviously,
couldn't.
Honestly, even when a person is
y'all sound like y'all speaking from experience.
No, I'm saying even when a person has neurological dysfunction, it actually can move on its own. It can, it still has sensitivity to where it can respond on its own, even when a person has like dysfunction down there. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I could never imagine somebody.
Yeah, that is. I guess so.
I mean, but I'm saying that whole situation was traumatizing, right? Because they had just ran, like his wife turned to a pillar of salt, right?
Yep.
Right.
The place that they were at just burnt up, just went up in flames. Like they're all just thinking like, I don't know, they're not the smartest people. Well, I mean, they didn't think things through, the daughters, well enough to get their dad drunk. But I'm saying I think they weren't totally in their right minds.
Yeah.
I would hope not.
I mean, too, they just saw their mother turn into a pillow of
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So much going on.
And no men wanted them. Even the men that were there with them didn't want them. They wanted the angels. They didn't want the women.
That's true.
So it's not like if they went back, like, they know I want them.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's like the only man left. So I'm saying they were traumatized with all this going on. It's like, oh my gosh, like, oh gosh. I'm still saying it'll be me, my daddy, and my sister, and that's the end of the world. Like for me, we done.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, check it out, right? So through history, or while through history,
but that's how they started anyway.
yeah, check it out though. Through history, wedding inside the family was a royalty thing.
Yeah.
At this point, the fact that so many royals through history wed relatives in what are now termed consanguineous marriages is something of a history joke to us. But again, why did they do this in the first place? Before we begin, an acknowledgement is only royals who wanted to keep it in the family.
The bloodline.
Yep. The economics and the patriarch of a major manufacturing family, Pierre Samuel DuPont, wasn't afraid to admit his plan for his lineage, writing in 1810, the marriages that I should prefer for our colony will be between the cousins. And that way we should be sure of honesty of soul and purity of blood. Other were more discreet, but they often shared the same opinion. By refusing to allow his female descendants to inherit his wealth, banking great Meyer Rothschild guaranteed that for his daughters and granddaughters to find wealthy, suitable husbands, they will have to look among their cousins. And so they did. 4 pair of Rothschild cousins, as well as 1 uncle-niece pairing, were wed. But for royals to whom intermarriage was often family tradition, generations of marrying a cousin came with consequences. But perhaps the most glaring example is the family of German royals who made up one of the principal dynasties of Europe from the 15th to the 20th century. By marrying members of one branch of the family to members of another, the Habsburg held on to the power for centuries. This was obviously their strategy, that the family motto once was, let others wage war, you, fortunate Austria, marry, meaning that they was going to marry each other. This deed wasn't always to keep bloodlines pure, though. Sometimes dynasties believed that the royalty resided in the female. Any male could be the king or pharaoh, but only by marrying the daughter of a king or pharaoh could he legitimize his reign. So this led to sons who inherited the crown marrying either their mothers or their sisters. Specifically, the country of Africa in particular, the Egyptians left a lot of records, which is why we know so much more about these things happening in those cultures that other early cultures did. However, other places like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, India, China, Korea, Japan, and medieval and early modern Europe, to name a few, all participated in sustaining bloodlines at some point in time in their history. So, with that statement, my story topic is different from my title, Bloodline, but the story topic is the kingdom, the power, and glory forever. I want the church to say amen.
I'm gonna wait on that.
Yeah, exactly. That's like that.
Check it out.
Like, what's this about?
Check it out. This one's going to be funny. So to all the ladies on this call, the scenario is this. Imagine the 1800 century where king and kingdom reigned during this time period. And meet your king, King Jasper. Jasper is a king of a race of people and in your lineage. His lineage, wealth, and power runs through his family tree. In these days, as long as a male descendant of the family is alive, your family and kingdom were safe. King Jasper's father died in early war, so he was the only son and became king from an early age. He is much older and up in age and has no sons, but has 2 daughters, which you are the oldest. The queen died of an unknown illness, and because of politics, your dad has not remarried and doesn't want to because of the love he has for your mother. He is now getting older, still young enough to reproduce, but if he doesn't remarry and have a son, you ladies are in trouble. Why, you ask? Well, the kingdom situation is this. The kingdom is safe as long as the king's lineage is passed on to a son king. Once he dies, you two daughters will be killed off, and a fight for the kingdom will take place until another family establishes themselves over the entire kingdom. This happened several times throughout history. So realizing that Jasper is not going to remarry, as his two daughters, again, you know that once your dad dies, the kingdom will go to war, and you and your sister will be killed since there are no males left in your family. This can be solved if your dad remarries and have a son, but your dad doesn't want to remarry, so your younger sister looks to you to save you both. She says that since you are the oldest, you can save you both by getting your father drunk, sleeping with him to produce an heir before he dies so that your lineage, wealth, power, and prestige can be kept and so that you can both survive. Your younger sister also states that she would do it too to increase the chance of survival, but you will have to do it first. You give thought about the situation and think that if you go to your dad and explain you got a situation, he will remarry and do what he must to save his daughters. But you talked to him before, not about this, but about marriage, and he's really content and doesn't want to remarry. With that being said, would you build up the courage to ask him to sleep with you and your sister in fear of the embarrassment from his response? Or would you do what your sister suggested and deal with the anger of your father after the fact? However, you two will be safe and keep your seats of power. As they say, survival of the fittest, only the strong survive. So my question, so for the kingdom, power, and glory forever and ever, will you save your bloodline?
I'm about to go visit my cousin, like across town or something. I'm not, no.
You don't
Or
have
I'm
any,
dying. I'm gonna die.
You don't have any
I'm dying.
cousins.
Okay, I'm dying. I'm dead. I can't sleep with my father.
Yeah.
Nope.
And there's a chance you could have a girl.
Exactly that too.
Yeah.
But why is the father? Don't the father know the situation that his daughters will be killed? Is he that selfish? Just marry somebody to keep his daughter alive.
Oh, man.
That's my
I
take
agree.
too, because
Yes.
they've never broken it down to him the way it truly is. So
So would you have that
I think I
conversation
would
with
have
him?
But
said
he
that. I
doesn't
would go
know.
that.
He don't know the rules.
He's
But
caught up.
he said
He's caught up in politics.
Aaron said that the daughter never actually talked to him about it. She only talked to him about the fact that he didn't want to get married. So I would lay it on the line to him. You're killing me.
This is true.
He should know
Yeah,
that.
but he
Yeah.
knows that. He
It's not a matter of what he knows. It's a matter of her confronting him.
Yeah.
Would you confront him
But
and say
I'm just saying the fact that he doesn't even care about them.
Right.
He would marry somebody just to keep them alive. Marry somebody.
Right?
I think it's over.
He should.
Jen, you said it's over?
It's a done deal for me.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going too.
I think I might fall on my sword. Somebody's sword. I can't. Like I'm a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
a
couldn't do it either.
So
Please, no.
hold on.
As soon as he, yeah.
All right, I want to make sure. Hold on, I want to make sure I got it clear. So I have 1, 2, 3 people right now saying that they would just let their bloodline die.
Yes, I
mean,
agree.
would you sleep with your mother?
I would too if I can't convince Dad to marry somebody.
I guess I'm dying too.
Yeah. Aaron, so you would save your bloodline? You would.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'll answer the question in a minute. Faith, you said you dying too, Faith?
Let's turn this around.
Oh yeah, Aaron.
Hold on. I'll answer the question as well.
I might have to kill you.
You said you might have to kill me.
That ain't happening.
Oh,
Ain't no this bloodline dead, boy.
Hold on, so
That
listen, but
y'all
this
do
is
know
hold on.
that does happen.
Yeah, that's why
Y'all know that
I'm about
happens,
to bring
though.
that up back up though. In the 1800s, this took place. So I'm saying like back in those times, it wasn't weird for a mother. I mean, even the Bible, there actually are stories.
Abraham married Sarah, and that was his half sister.
Yeah, but I mean, there's other characters in the Bible that may not get a lot of shine, but I forgot my man name, the hunter that built Babylon. He married his mom.
Oh Lord.
That's disgusting.
But I'm saying, like, back in the day, that was commonplace, and and all of that. But even that's how the world, that's how we all got started and whatnot. But even today, that's illegal. You can't be doing that today.
Actually, that's not true.
Well, I
was doing. I had two.
Wait, you can marry your mother.
Hold on.
I know. I know of two cousins that married each other. Not on our side, not on my mother's side, but yeah.
And I know of.
Wait,
hold on.
On your mother's side and not on your mother's side.
Not on your mother's side.
Just to make it clear, not.
But hold on. But I've had even conversations with Marinka, a famous name from this show from South Africa, and she has said to me on several occasions, right, that in South Africa where they live, you have city areas, and then you have tribal areas. In the tribal areas, the son, who is like the leader and king, they marry their sisters and stuff like that to keep the bloodline pure in the tribe areas. Today, as we speak.
Wow.
Yeah, but also you're talking about a king that has multiple wives. So it's more like not saying that it's good, but it's not like they have the same mother and father necessarily. They may not have the same mother and father. The king or whoever, the male may have several wives. So it may be a half, not that it makes it any better, but a little better. I mean, it's like then you talk about like my half brother versus my daddy. My dad. No, I'm dead.
Well, from my understanding, it wasn't. It's brother, like actual brother and sister. To keep this goes on today. You know what I mean? And in certain countries, including the African continent.
Supposedly there are health challenges when you do that. When you marry a close relative.
And let me say this. Let me say this too, because I looked this up, right? And yes, this was going on back in Bible times, and back in the day, and that's how the world got populated. From what I read, that back then the DNA wasn't as, I guess, diluted, so it was more pure. So having kids and stuff like that, they didn't have defects and stuff like that as
they do.
Yeah, as it is now. I guess over a period of time of the dilution of bloodlines or whatever, it became something that, you know what I'm saying, that obviously has defects. But back then, the blood was more pure and wasn't diluted and you didn't have any problems like you do now.
But it's just the thought of it.
Oh, so hold on. Let me clear the air real quick.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
For me, it's a hard no. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard no. I love you, Mom, but no.
No, please, I told you no. I told you no first.
Well, you would be the one trying to save your life.
Y'all don't want to be rich, huh?
No, I said she would be the one trying to save her life. Well, actually, in your case, you would be good because you have a son.
Okay, well.
Yeah, so you know what I mean, because the bloodline will be passed down through the sons. So, for anyone,
unless it was the other way, right?
What's the other
Then
way?
she would be in trouble. I thought you said when the bloodline was passed through the
daughter,
female, like it was.
I thought you said
Yeah,
it was female.
right.
Yeah.
You did say
then
that.
y'all be in trouble.
Yeah.
Then y'all be in trouble. So then you have to decide what you're gonna do.
Now you got me confused.
Now,
I'm confused
once
now.
again,
Hold on. Say that one more time. You got me confused.
I said if it was passed down, and you needed a female or whatever, passed down to the female bloodline, however you said it. Then she would need to have a daughter. Right? It would go through the women, and you guys don't have any other than.
But the daughter could come through somebody else.
Y'all ain't got one. You run out of time. What you gonna do? Right now today.
My dad will have to go do his thing, man.
That's because you can have a son.
Exactly. You still could have sons.
My dad got to take one for the team, man.
Say what?
I said my dad will have to take one for the team. Go ahead, Carletta.
Oh, what I would say is that I would talk to my dad, and because he's a king, so his lineage should mean something. Politics mean things. So basically, I would hype him up, saying, "I know you love the country," and things like that. Say things I know that he's going to have to say yes to, that he cares about the country, he cares about lineage tradition, and then talk him into, well, then if you care about these things, then you would need to marry. You don't have to marry for love, but it's your duty, and just kind of hype him up on that.
Yeah.
To convince him that he needs to marry.
That's what we were saying earlier, too, though. For him,
She's gonna be the Esther. Go ahead, Esther. Speak for the people. Save your people.
Exactly.
Save your bloodline.
Yeah.
Save your bloodline.
Yeah.
Think about the chaos.
Like
Save your families. Yeah.
Your country could be obliterated. It could be taken over while people are fighting internally and we die. Another country could swoop in and take over.
Okay, so I have a question for y'all. Since we're looking at it like that, let's go back to Lot for a minute. Do you think it wasn't important for Lot to save his lineage?
Evidently not.
I don't think it was important for Lot. He's ready to give his daughters up to those men. Yeah.
I think it was give it some time. They just went through all this. Like they were in a rush. Why couldn't they wait a couple of months or something? They just went through all this. Like they couldn't have waited. They weren't like they were like. I mean, not where they were getting ready to be barren, where they couldn't have children.
Up in the head, you kind of. That's why they say like if you had a trauma or something, don't make decisions quickly because you do make stupid decisions when you when you're upset or going through. And I think that they just they had just came from a bad situation, and mother was the father offered them up, like you said, nobody wanted them. All this other stuff going on. Then the mother's a pillow of salt and all, fleeing from the city and everything. And you get, I just think that they just was messed up in the head.
But still, I want to say this. Your father offered you away, right? Yeah. They were rejected. Dad takes y'all, y'all run away. Mom dies, turns to stone. Yeah. Y'all now in the hill in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have options. You can run away from your dad. I mean, he's already messed up. Y'all can run away. You know what I'm saying? And thug it out. Or y'all can even stay together. You and your sister can stay together, thug it out. Or y'all can settle for the bloodline not passing down through y'all. Or they can do what they did. To me, I understand everything that y'all saying, but I feel like that bloodline and passing down the lineage was that important to them.
Okay.
It was so important to them. You got to understand too. Keep this in mind. Back in the day, we've said this in different situations and occasions. We've said women having children was their value. Like, having children and producing children was what made in the Bible certain women legitimacy. You know what I mean? So to them, you know, it was that important to them to have to go through this situation and do that with your dad. You know
I'm
what I mean?
putting sackcloth on. I'm mourning because I'm going to be barren and I'm about to die. Like it's over. No, I'm sorry. I'm not. No, there's no way. No, that I'm gonna lay with my father. I'm sorry.
And also remember
No, I'm
too,
not
like
sorry. I'm not gonna do it.
back then, I understand what you're saying as far as back then, because you look at Hannah, look at Sarah, and what all of that. But I think back then that was kind of like the norm, like where you're talking 21st century Jen as opposed to Bible day Jen.
No, because I'm saying
there with her dad.
I'm saying their city was just destroyed and they ran to the hills. They hadn't even went to the of course they went to the hills to get away from the city that was being destroyed. They just got there. So really I mean, they couldn't have waited. Like they still have a cousin, the cousin who prayed, who actually saved them because they could have burnt up in Sodom and Gomorrah, but it was their cousin. So I'm sure that there was somebody.
You think the cousin came with the cousin didn't come with him? No,
he wasn't there, but he would have. I mean, it was because of him that they were saved. So he was somewhere because actually it was because of their father that he split. You know, that's where he ended up. How they ended up
so
there,
you're
right?
saying you would have went back to your cousin and begged him to?
I would have found my cousin.
And begged him to marry you?
Before I slept with my father? Yeah.
Yeah.
June, what's up, June?
Cousin on the right.
June, what's up, June?
I'm not doing it either.
You're not doing it?
No, I'm not laying down with my father. No. Ew.
How about your father's father?
My father's father. No. Neither one. No father, no brother, no nothing. I couldn't even get myself worked up for that.
Hold on. Check this out though. Check this out. We hold on. We talked about this in Bible days in another show, that if your husband died and you didn't have kids, that your brother, his brother, will be the one to have to impregnate you and you deliver a son, and name it after the brother that passed away. So, June, you saying you just wouldn't have had no children?
Now, wait a minute. Now,
let me ask you this question. Let's get this right. Hold on. Does Brother Malloy have any siblings? Male siblings?
Yeah.
Okay, so if Brother Malloy passed away, his next to kin brother,
his brother
would be, he will have to honorably make love to you for you to deliver a son, a junior, for Mr. Malloy. That was the rules in Bible times back in the day.
I mean, the difference in that is that that's his brother. He's not, it's not my dad.
I understand that. The reason why I'm bringing it up, because you just literally said not his brother, not his dad, not his granddad.
No, her brother.
I said not my brother.
Not his.
I got you. But you comfortable enough? You comfortable enough to let that slide though?
I mean, if that's how it had to be, but that's so much better than my father. I could not even work myself up to even enjoy, or I couldn't work myself up to do that.
It's not about enjoying it. It's about survival.
I couldn't do it. No, I'm not doing it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't even think of it. It made me sick.
But think when people are getting raped, they're not enjoying it.
I mean, I know that, but I would be freely giving, so it's not like that's like me just wanting to do it to keep on my bloodline. But no,
to survive.
no, I couldn't even get myself. No, I couldn't get my mind even right for that. No.
All right. Faith, talk to me, Faith.
That's an absolute no for me. I guess I'm going home.
Go home to see the Lord.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Samantha. What about you? Would you survive? Would you save the bloodline?
It's a no for me.
It's a secured no, or you have to think about it.
No, there's no thinking about it. It's a no for me.
If they got you, if you got drunk yourself, you might could.
Is that what you said? Is that what you said?
It's a no for me.
Get yourself drunk if you have to.
No, it's a no for me.
Sister Deacon Jones, talk to me.
No, I wouldn't be able to save the bloodline. That's a little too nasty for me.
So you'll let your bloodline. You'll let your bloodline. The family tree end with you.
It would have to die.
The family tree ends with you. No legacy.
Yes.
Chi-Town, you feel the same way? I said, Chi-Town, you feel the same way?
Yes, I do. They will not survive on my behalf.
Family tree comes to an end.
Yes.
Barb and Nance.
I agree with the ladies. No way, Jose.
Barb, you too?
Yeah, there's no way. No way.
So, again, I'm asking. Jim brings a good point that in the case of Lot's daughters, and not to repeat the same thing over and over again, but y'all, their bloodline was that important to them that they had to come up with this idea to do that. And
but I would be dead, so it wouldn't matter.
You would be dead. What you mean?
That's true.
I would just go ahead and die.
Got other options. You can still live.
I don't want to. Hey, if the only way I can live is to have sex with my relatives.
No, that wasn't the case for Lot's daughters. They was living in the cave, and that situation put them into the point where their father already displayed them off and they were rejected. The mother just died, and they're in a situation where they have to make a decision on future, and they decided to have children.
With
their father.
With their father.
No, they felt rejected and whatnot, so they just wanted to do something. They felt rejected.
Yeah. I feel like they felt like they didn't have no future, no family, no kids. Yeah, they have no future, and they weren't going to be mothers and all of that. So that's one reason too.
And apparently they figured they were going to be rejected by the father if you decide you have to get them drunk to do it. So they were just catching rejection all the way around.
Yeah. They had to be drunk. He would have rejected them, I guess. Or they felt he would have.
Yeah.
As y'all said he should. I said, as y'all said he should.
Yeah.
He should, yeah.
But,
what he should do is, after they sit out there where they are for a while, take them back to the city so that they can meet men.
Oh, they couldn't go back to the city. Solomon
go somewhere else where their people are.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, Sodom and Gomorrah wasn't the only place, and they were fleeing. That's why they were in the caves, and they know, that, it's not like the world blew up. You know?
Exactly. It was only Sodom and Gomorrah, yeah.
So why do you feel
I would have told the sister, you go first, and then the next night I'd have been like, I got a stomachache.
Why Why do you think it was so urgent for them to do that then? I mean, being rejected is not. Why was it so urgent for them to do that? Being rejected is not an urgent reason.
No, but they lost everything. They kept losing everything. Yeah. They lost their mom. They lost their city. Yeah. They were at a loss of everything. They lost, like, it was loss and rejection and trauma. No, you ain't gonna tell me that's trauma. That's not trauma. Like, I don't even see. I would have to be crazy out of my mind to even look at my daddy and say, or look at my daddy, then look at my sister and say, hey, let's get him so drunk that he don't even realize, he is knocked out and make a baby with him. Oh, no.
Disgusting.
All right, so
I would have told my daddy on my sister.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh wow.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yo, so all right, so that cool. Do you think when it's all said and done that this was God's plan?
Wait, so what happened? They had kids?
Yeah.
They were like the Amorites.
The Ammonites and the Moabites.
What happened to the kids?
What do you mean what happened to them?
They had them and
they survived and flourished.
They were a tribe. They flourished.
They became a tribe. They became a nation.
Did they, I'm saying, are they somewhere in the Bible? Like, are they mentioned?
The Ammonites and Moabites, they're mentioned many times in the Bible. The Moabites.
The Moabites and the Amorites.
The Ammonites.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to venture out to say that I think God knows our hearts. He already knows
God knows the heart.
What the things we're going to do. I'm saying what we're going to do. Like, God knows we're going to make bad decisions, and there's things that happen that we ourselves set into motion. Like, I don't think he was like, yeah, I want y'all to, he did not speak to them and say, I want y'all to go lay with your father. That's what I'm going to say. But it was allowed to happen because I guess that's the way it was going to be. Oh gosh. I'm just glad it ain't me.
Go ahead, Deke, what you about to say? Sister Jones, you was about to say something?
Yes. No.
Oh, I thought you were saying
I was laughing.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I figured that this was an interesting conversation. I really wanted to dissect the reasoning for Lot's daughters to do what they did, and also try to create a situation to see if you ladies would make the same choice. But you ladies said
in no way, shape, or form.
You ladies said your family tree ends with y'all.
Right.
Dead at the roots.
Yeah.
Now, my only issue with that statement is if y'all was living in their day and time, would y'all make the same decision? That's right.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be a different story.
But no, in that scenario, I would still choose that. I would not. No, y'all.
That's what I said. Like, you talking 21st century, Jen, as opposed to Bible day century. Jen, you don't know. And then even as much as we say, honestly, we can say, oh yeah, 100%, I won't do that. But if you've never been in that situation,
you don't know.
Right? Yeah.
My gosh! But I'm telling you, if my husband died and I had to sleep with and we needed the world to move on. Let's say we needed the world to move on, to populate, and it was just me, my husband, and his brother, and God forbid my husband died, I would move on with his brother. But if it was me, my husband, and my daddy, and my husband passed, the world would end. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the world would end.
Jen.
Okay?
Jen. Hold on,
Jen. Whether it's BC or AD.
I
can't.
Jen.
Yes.
We had a conversation earlier today. You said the Lord can work in mysterious ways. What if God comes to you and say, be fruitful and multiply?
With my daddy?
Be fruitful and multiply, man.
God wouldn't say that.
But with my daddy? No, he's specific.
Did
he stay with my father?
All right, so
no, he didn't
back in Adam and Eve days, they had to be fruitful and multiply.
But that they had to sleep with their kid. Wait a minute, but then when they had them kids and whatnot, they had to be sleeping with somebody.
It was populate the earth, yeah.
So Eve slept with Seth. That's what y'all saying.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying that the world had to be populated
they
somehow.
were all sleeping. I'm thinking that it was all mixed up in there some kind of way.
Yeah, Seth had a wife, didn't he?
I'm saying I don't know, and it's not.
I'm sure they had daughters too, but I'm saying they were sleeping with each other in order to populate the world.
But the Bible talks about them marrying other people. So God must have put some. God must have put some other people there too. Because all of a sudden these people are taking wives out of nowhere.
So it was other mankind.
And also in the Old Testament.
Hold on, I want to hear what they're saying now. Go ahead, Sister Nance. You saying that there were other people on earth too?
Those wives had to come from somewhere. They didn't all marry Eve.
Weren't there daughters?
No, I'm saying Adam and Eve had kids. They had sons and daughters.
They lived for like 900 years or something like that. I mean,
okay, that's one thing. Right, that's one thing. But Adam slept with Adam procreated with Eve. Right? Okay. We're saying his daughter I'm saying that Adam, I've not read it anywhere. But I'm saying Adam was with Eve, not with one of his daughters. And even if Seth was with one of his sisters, that's still not
his mother.
Seth
So
his mom.
Was the mother and father
with
their
Eve.
kids. But
I don't know.
Even in this day, you hear how what's her name? The lady, the writer, I can't think of her name right now. That her father slept with her.
But that's just crazy. I mean, that's not. What is that? I mean, what are you saying? Because that's not helping this. That's not giving validation to it. He just as crazy as they are.
My point is that stuff does happen.
Amen.
I mean, people abuse people all the time. Yeah.
Why would a dad want to sleep with his daughter? That's just sick.
But there are sick people out there, and there are fathers that abuse their daughters.
Right. That's what I just said. But I'm saying, and you would say, why? Like, why?
Oh, yeah, why? Yeah, of course.
A whole world of people out there. Why did you choose your daughter?
Yeah.
You said, look at Trump.
Trump. He thought his daughter. He was looking at his daughter crazy, talking all that crazy.
They said he did. Look at her funny. Like the people were concerned.
He said if she wasn't his daughter, he would.
But he probably.
But saying that and actually laying with her is two different things. I mean, it sounds cringeworthy. No. I mean, people say yes, it was inappropriate, it was weird. But I'm saying these two young women, traumatized or not, but I think that they were traumatized. Literally. I mean, plotted to get their father so drunk that he didn't know when they came in or left out. And then he got the nerve to do it twice. He got drunk twice. I mean, I guess he was like, he was going through trauma too. His wife died. His thing, so he was ready to get drunk and drown his sorrows, I guess, instead of going to God. So there you go. All of them could have just prayed and, I mean... Prayer changes things. Other than, that would have been a lot better way.
They weren't praying people. Abraham had to stand in the gap for them in order for them to get out.
That's true. That is true. Which is why, that's true. That's true. And they should know that God doesn't play. Because
That's a crazy thought, though. If when you just think about it in your own situation, like put it in your own head, that you can't imagine something like that happening.
How come you think Abraham allowed him to allow Lot to take the daughters away, knowing that they were solo acts, going to be solo acts in that situation?
Can I ask you a question? Would you leave your daughter?
Actually, no. Wait a minute. Hold on. Actually, you know what? Thinking about the story, right? Lot's daughters didn't they have? Am I getting it wrong? Didn't they have husbands? I mean, like fiancés, right? And the fiancés were warned they didn't leave with them. So they have. No. There you go. So they just like.
Are you talking about Noah?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Am I thinking about knowing it? Like they were told the husbands were the. Am I thinking about? I don't know. No. They were virgins, but they were already betrothed to some gentlemen, and they were supposed to leave too. They were all warned to leave, and they didn't, and then they just ended up dying.
Yeah,
so
I
they
didn't
lost
read that
a lot.
part.
They were. Well, I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, we want to go back and fact check that.
Well, y'all go back and read. I'm gonna read too. But I know, regardless, I'm sticking to my story.
But I'm saying Abraham could have tried to save him. No, I mean he could have. He went out his way to save Lot many times. So I'm saying, like, knowing that the situation, Lot made the choice to take his family and move off into a cave. You know what I mean? To be all by himself. They had family. I mean, Abraham still had his family with him. So I mean.
Well, I'm sure Abraham saw that Lot's wife got turned to a pillar of salt. That might have been just the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, I've been trying to save Lot all these times that I'm done. Like, it might be.
I don't know if Abraham would have been done.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been done.
Yeah,
either.
wow. Huh?
I said I don't think he would have been done either. He put his life on the line many a times for him.
Yeah.
Spent money,
but I don't.
bread for him. And I don't think Abraham would have been weirded out by the situation, being that he sent his own son to go marry his cousin.
Oh, okay. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He sent his son to marry his cousin,
right?
Not to marry his wife, which would be his son's mother.
I know that, but I'm saying in that case, he could have sent his son to go marry Lot's daughters for all we know.
Yeah, but Lot didn't even fool with. I thought he didn't really like him. That's why he wanted him to have the better land. He didn't treat. I don't think he would have sent his.
He
son
was
to
selfish.
Yeah, he was selfish. Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, so
I don't think that he didn't like him. I think he was just selfish. And he looked at, he had everything. Abraham had everything, could get everything, and so he said, hey, give the best of whatever you got. He figured he'd get more. I just think he was just selfish.
Where selfishness
when he came back to bite him.
Yeah, got him back. Big time. All right, ladies, with that being said, Bloodline.
Nasty bloodline.
Bloodline. The importance of bloodline. The importance of a bloodline. You know what I'm saying? I thank y'all for listening, joining the call. I felt like this was an interesting conversation. And for Kingdom, Power, and Glory forever. As our pastor always say at our church, be safe, be blessed, be well. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for joining the conversation. And have a good night. Save your bloodline.
And at CLC, we look to see you, to hear your voice on the prayer line in the morning, 6:30. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
She said good night.
Bloodline.